What's up everybody, welcome back to Cilinix Crypto. I hope you're all doing great and welcome to this emergency update which was requested in a Telegram chat. We're going to do a full emergency update. There's obviously a lot going on. We'll talk about that. We'll talk about, in general, the state of Bitcoin and the state of crypto right now. At this point of time, we are still falling down lower, although you can see a very strange price action, but for the last, for the last 10 minutes, maybe we have stopped falling a little bit. I still think we're going to drop down lower. That's in general in situations like these, the best thing to say, right? Because ultimately, do we really know what's going to happen? No, of course not. So then it's always safer to assume the worst. But alright, what happened, of course, over the course of today is first of all a lot. First of all, I made a middle of the day market update in which I said I thought we were not going to drop down lower, but that it was a fundamentals market, and if the fundamentals turned out more bearish, that we could drop down lower. That is what happened. And this is the chart of Bitcoin here on the higher time frames. We'll take a look at that in a moment. And I'll tell you some interesting levels I'm looking at. Just in all transparency, I am buying into Bitcoin at this point of time. Now, that is in no shape or form a signal or that you should too. Right, but that's just I like to be transparent in my trading and in my buying, and that is what I'm doing, right? So then I might have a little bit of a bias towards telling you that I think we're going to hold these support levels, which I do. That's why I bought. But all right. So what happened? This is a bit of a timeline here. So basically, the main thing that's happening is fallout between Elon Musk and Donald Trump. All right, where Musk has said a lot of things about here that SpaceX will begin decommissioning its Dragon spacecraft. Tesla shares are down. A lot going on. All right, I mean you can see some of the things happening right now, and then before that it was Elon saying Trump is in the Epstein files. It was already known, I think, but all right. Trump said, I want the tax bill passed without delay. The Trump tariffs will cause a recession in second half of this year. Musk says, who doesn't know that? I mean, obviously you cannot predict that. Musk calls for Trump's impeachment. Steve Bannon calls for Elon Musk to be deported. And now Kalshi predicts a 49% chance that Trump will be impeached. In general, it's almost theater, but ultimately, I think the market reaction is an overreaction. All right, I would be very, very surprised if this turns into a long-term fallout. I think whatever you think about Trump and Elon Musk, and I think to be fair, if I can give my opinion once, I think what's going on here is incredibly childish, right? These should be two of the smartest people in the entire world. And I think the way they're handling this situation, especially also what it does to others and the uncertainty it brings to the people of the United States, but also the world, is incredibly irresponsible, right? Do this in private. But all right, those are my personal opinions, and that doesn't matter. But I do think that they will make up, all right? I think in the end, they will come to their senses, and they'll say, all right, well, we both want the best for the United States. This is obviously not it. We can disagree with each other, but ultimately it should not have the fallout that it has right now, and that's also not for the greater good. I think they will come to that, all right? And, well, first of all, if that happens, we're going to get a massive spike up. All shorts will be liquidated. Quite a lot of shorts have been opened, to be fair, over the last, what is it? Can I actually see that right here? So basically, the open interest started going up overnight. And since then, a very large amount of shorts have been opened, as you can see. But that's a little bit beside the point. I mean, that does, in my opinion, that is a reason extra that we are going to find support, right? Because those shorts do want to exit eventually. And there's quite a lot of shorts being opened. But no, I still think that they will make up. And then if you go to the technicals, I mean, technicals in moments like these, do they really matter that much? No. But still, technical support levels are levels where there's liquidity. So there's buy limit orders, that pushes up the price. And there's areas where shorters take profit, right? And we have support right here on the daily time frame. The major support and the last support that has to hold if we still want to see higher highs, which, yes, I know it sounds strange, but it is still a possibility. would be this level right here between, I would say, 100,700 all the way down to the 382 fib right here at 98,000, where you can also see the daily trend band actually still is. So we have to hold that level, right? If we hold that level, we can still consolidate. And I think it's most likely we are going to hold that level. Not only is it a very strong support level, but my fundamental thoughts on the current situation are also that it's an overreaction and that they will make up. If they don't, I'm not even sure if we're going to drop down lower. What we see already at this point of time is that the Coinbase Bitcoin premium is actually returning, so that's a good sign. And then outside of that, if you take a look at the pre-market for stocks, that's also not dropping down that much, right? So yeah, final thoughts. I think it's an overreaction. I'm buying into Bitcoin right here. I think they'll make up, and I think, well, it depends a little. I think it's most likely, and I briefly spoke upon this earlier today as well. I think it's most likely we are going, on the higher time frames, we're going to get into some sort of a consolidation instead of a continuation of the uptrend. But I'll talk a little bit more about that tomorrow morning. If you're interested in more markets and Bitcoin updates, consider subscribing. But for now, that's it. So thank you for watching. Take care, and really take care in these markets, right? I mean, it's personally, I am risking a little bit of money at this point of time. Would I necessarily recommend that to all of you? Not necessarily, right? Only if you're a little bit more of an experienced trader, experienced investor, you know, then I would say panic is usually the best time to buy. But that's up to you. For now, that's it. Thank you for watching. Take care and bye.